let's cut straight to the chase. A couple of you yesterday in a video tagged the 8-minute mark in yesterday's video, suggested flatulence on my part, suggested I farted. Let's sort this out now. It's the chair, all right? I do all of my farting before and after the recording process. Thank you very much. Quite frankly, I wouldn't want you to smell it whilst I was doing a video. Nobody wants that. Right, listen, there's a couple of things today. First was a really good story. We've got a sort of head of scouting analysis. I didn't know. I'm really pleased he signed Tomas Soucek. So, well, he was responsible for the signing of him. We've got to deal with that in a second. Before we do, can I just give a bit of love out to one of our wonderful subscribers? He's Matty Long. I'm going to steal this, Matty, but I want to credit you before I steal it and use it forever. He says, Gonzo, I've got to do a video about Virgil van Dawson. Virgil van Dawson. I love it. This isn't that video, by the way, Matty, but I just thought you deserved a little bit of credit before I spend the next... Yeah, I was going to say next year or two, if we sign him. He's not even our player. Calling him Virgil van Dawson. I just wanted to give you the credit early doors because I will eventually forget it was you, but you deserve a sort of pat on the back for that. Let's just get to this story really quickly because I do want to talk about David Moyes again, but this is really good, right? Let me start off with the article here. It says, West Ham scout, I'm trying without my glasses, but I've made the font very big. West Ham scout Jordan Miles has been credited with the recruitment of Tomas Soucek. Whoa, nice. I like it. I just like the fact we got a scout, but it's better than that. This is in a report by the Evening Standard, basically. And it contains my quote of the week.
Quote of the week.
Yes, quote of the week. Quote of the week. Okay. A special report by the Evening Standard says Moyes asked Miles for a defender with legs. And the head of recruitment analysis immediately suggested Soucek. Right, okay, let's deal with we've got a head of recruitment analysis. This is wonderful. I like this. This has surely got to be progress. However, we can't let that comment of the week pass without additional comment. Moyes asked Miles for a midfielder with legs, and the head of recruitment analysis immediately suggested Soucek. Well, this is very, very interesting. How did that work? How did that conversation work? I guess Jordan was called into the office. Yes, Mr. Moyes. All right, young Jordan, I need a midfielder. Yes, certainly. What are the criteria, Mr. Moyes? I need a midfielder with legs. No problem at all. So he gets him and he delivers Soucek. I reckon he calls him back into the office and Jordan Miles says, so, Dave, he doesn't call him Dave, does he? He's respectful. Mr. Moyes, how did the purchase of Tomas Soucek go? Were you happy with my recommendation, Mr. Moyes? Oh, absolutely delighted with your recommendation of Tomas Big Sue Potato Saladovich Soucek. I need you to go and get me a goalkeeper now. What I need is somebody with arms. Did he turn into a pirate at the end? With arms. I just think the criteria is very low. Not only did we get a midfielder with legs, he had a torso and some feet and a head to score goals with. This is absolutely magnificent. Look, I am delighted, absolutely delighted. But it brings us on to a bigger subject. The subject of David Moyes' contract. I'm going to read you something else. I'm not sure if no, that requires glasses. I do apologise. West Ham will offer David Moyes his new contract at the end of the season. Good. Seems a bit squeaky bum, but I am confident. I've said that. The manager and the board are entirely happy with each other. And Moyes is now more than ready to continue the work he's begun at the club. I believe that. He says as much, doesn't he? That's fine. In reality, it's only now a matter of the two sides putting their signatures on a piece of paper as Moyes has fulfilled all clauses written in to ensure that he remains in charge. I'm pretty sure he has. Can you imagine if they demanded more than he's actually achieved? You know, sorry, Davey, you're not getting a new contract. We stipulated third. Anyway, it said there were suggestions a deal would be formalised by Christmas, but as always, away with the board and with Moyes, the agreement to offer him a 2-year deal will happen when the season is complete. This doesn't worry me. This is what Wenger did. Wenger used to do this all the time, by the way. And we do know that Moysie loves Wenger. I saw it etched on a school desk once, put it that way, with a compass, etched in with a compass. Moysie loves, I was going to say, Moysie loves arson. Allegedly. What you get if you cross the former Arsenal manager with, what was it, with the Lord of the Evil Empire? Arsene Vader. This is Arsene Wenger and Darth Vader, you see. There you go. It's just getting worse, isn't it? Anyway, it says the manager admitted his first priority was in restoring reputation marred by periods at Manchester United, Real Sociedad and Sunderland. So he's rebuilt his reputation. He made it clear he was unworried about signing a new contract until he guided the team to safety. Well, he's done that now, hasn't he? I think, mathematically, something like that anyway. The deal is a formality. That's all you need to know. This is good news. Very, very good news for West Ham. Very, very good news for David Moyes, hopefully. I don't think anybody will come in and pinch him. I'm sure other clubs would be attracted to him, but they can't have him. His box of vegetables are firmly stuck in East London, whatever that means. I would also to say, I thought it was an important point to really look at quite where I think David Moyes stands as a West Ham manager. Now, I am conscious that people say, steady on, he's only been here 2 minutes, but actually he's in his second stint with the club. And David Moyes has spent longer as West Ham manager than some of the names I'm about to read out now. So, here's me bombshell, right? Here's me bombshell. I think David Moyes is the best manager since Harry Redknapp. There you go. I also think that by the time he's finished, he'll be the best manager since John Lyall. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Obviously not the pipeless casts. No, don't put that in because he doesn't put anything in his pipe and smokes. He doesn't smoke, basically. Let's have a look through them. After John Lyall, because basically Ron Greenwood put the template in for the Academy of Football, for the way we play, for everything. He became England manager. Clearly an absolute genius, ahead of his time. Watched a really interesting interview with Malcolm Allison, actually very, very recently. If you don't know about this historical stuff, it's worth going and having a look. But some really good stuff. Obviously, Lyall was, in essence, I guess Lyall was the Paisley to Greenwood Shankly. That doesn't sound right, does it? But you know what I mean. He was the natural successor, put it that way. So John Lyall, look, there are numerous videos. You go and check out what John Lyall did. Basically, we ain't won a trophy since John Lyall was in charge. And go and watch Canning Town Lens, everybody's second team, and you'll find out just how highly regarded he was by the players. A father figure, certainly. The next one was Lou Macari. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but let's be fair, it was a bit of a disaster, and he wasn't very popular at all. Although he did buy Ian Bishop, which sort of went against Lou Macari's style, really. It was weird that he would buy his sort of flamboyant, really skillful playmaker. Anyway, so that was Lou Macari. Moyes is better than Lou Macari. You get my drift there. Billy Bonds. Let's be fair. It didn't go particularly well for Bill, and I'm really sorry for him because I'd have loved him. Out of all of the people on the list, I'd like to work out with Bill most. David Moyes is a better manager at West Ham than Billy Bonds. Not commenting about his career. Clearly, I think probably the best player West Ham have had. We can do this a different video. But anyway, Harry Redknapp. Look, I've just discussed him. I'm not going to go into that. After Harry was Glenn Roeder. Do we have to sit around explaining why David Moyes is better than Glenn Roeder? I don't really have to, do I? But I do. I felt a little bit for Glenn. Glenn got very, very ill while he was way out of his depth. He shouldn't have been West Ham manager. He got ill. He almost died. He had to have a very, very serious brain operation. Felt a bit sorry for him, really, there, mate, to be honest with you. So I don't know why I just called you mate. There's loads of you. You are. I'm not saying you're not mates. I almost felt like I was speaking to one person. Maybe I will. Maybe when I look at the analytics on this video tomorrow, there will just be one of you there saying, it's all right, it was me. It was me. It was Matty Long. I just tuned in to see you, if you'd remembered about the Virgil van Dawson. Trevor Brooking, best manager West Ham never had, if you know what I mean. He was only there as a caretaker. What great things he could have done. That's all I can say. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And the run of form to almost keep us up. When I think we got relegated with, did we get relegated 41 points? But thank goodness we got 42. That won't happen this year, obviously. A lot of love for him. Alan Pardew, what can you say? The man, the myth, the legend. None of those things, actually. Well, he was a man. None of those things. He was definitely a man. Wasn't a myth. Is he a legend? I don't know, but I liked Alan. I didn't know him. We weren't mates. He wouldn't literally wouldn't know me if he walked past me in the street. But I like him. To take us to a cup final, to take it seriously. For a couple of seasons, I loved the way we played under Alan Pardew. But I think Moysie's better than Pards. See, I said it, the nickname again. Kevin Keane, it was short. It was very short. It was, actually, did it say on here? I think it was 2 days. Good player for West Ham. Alan Kirbishley should have been what David Moyes is. All right, and I know he left under acrimonious circumstances because players got sold from under him, but there was a period when he got to spend good money, and he didn't spend it well. Brought in Kieran Dyer and Freddie Ljungberg. I quite liked it when he signed Nobby Solano because he was good, and his name was Nobby, which is always very good. But he wasted a lot of money, didn't he? But I like Curbs. Actually, it's funny enough, I have met Curbs. He's a funny guy. He's a joke. You wouldn't think it. You look at him, he's all straight in the interviews. He's actually a really funny guy. And I knew his brother as well, funny enough. Anyway, different thing. Kevin Keane again. How long this time? 13 days, 12 days. Sorry, I can't count. 12 days this time, Kevin Keane. Then Gianfranco Zola. Look, clearly David Moyes is better than Gianfranco Zola, but I do think, look, he was harshly dealt with, really. He kept us up, he got sacked. Avram Grant, he was harshly dealt with, but not quickly enough. They wouldn't let him on the coach, literally. Is Avram Grant as good as David Moyes? No. Guess who's next? Kevin Keane. How long did he have it for this time? Oh my goodness, 2 weeks. 16th of May 2011 to the 1st of June 2011. 2 weeks, isn't it? Really? Then he passed the baton over to Sam Allardyce. Took the baton, cupped his ear around it, and used it as an horn to listen. Like an ear trumpet. Don't see many people with ear trumpets anymore, do you? If at all. Anyway, so is Sam Allardyce a better manager than David Moyes? No. Statistically, no, and no. I am prepared for some argument in here. Some people are making a case for whoever. I would imagine Sam Allardyce to be one of them. Please feel free. Don't swear. Slaven Bilic. Yes, I'm afraid I think David Moyes is better than Slaven Bilic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I like Slav. It doesn't mean, look, just so I get this right before people accuse me of not liking everybody else. I do. I'm just saying I think David Moyes is the better manager. I like Slaven Bilic. Nice guy, good guy. The perfect manager in many respects for our last season at Upton Park. You know, very much. The next manager we had after Slaven Bilic was David Moyes. Now this is where it gets tricky because we're comparing Moysies. We really are. Which Moyes is the better Moyes? I think this one's the better Moyes. I think that taking that little part-time job doing the vegetable delivery has changed him. I really do. I think he's a new man. I think he is reinvigorated. And so I think that the first David Moyes, I still think David Moyes is better than David Moyes. Definitely. I really do. After David Moyes, the first one, Manuel Pellegrini. Now, look, statistically, in the show us your medals conversation, Manuel Lanzini, he ain't got any. Manuel Pellegrini will say, "There's me medals, Davey boy. You ain't got no medals." And Moysie may say, "Well, I know I don't," but I do think that for me, it's David Moyes. And I'm talking about West Ham here as well. Let's be fair. Who's the better manager for West Ham? Well, David Moyes, right? Surely he had to be, because Pellegrini got sacked and David Moyes got appointed. That being said, David Moyes got sacked, then Pellegrini got appointed. This creates a sort of loop and a rift, a spatial rift, as I've said before. These little occurrences that pop up. And following Manuel Pellegrini was, of course, David Moyes, who I think is the current incumbent of David Moyes, the best version of David Moyes. David Moyes extra, like the king pot noodle. I'm not sure the king pot noodle is better than the normal pot noodle, if we're being truthful with each other. I think it's a little bit too much, particularly for me, because I do like my pot noodle. I like to make a sandwich with my pot noodle. So what I do is I butter the bread, and then I take the pot, can't have too much water in the pot noodle. And then I take that, and you put the lid back on, you put the soy sauce on, bit of extra salt and pepper. It's nothing worse than having a pot noodle where you're out and about, because you've got to be in your own kitchen to do it, to have the extra salt and pepper. And then the butter, proper butter. And then what happens is you take the pot noodles, it's not really liquidy, it's reduced down into a sort of thick sauce. And then I take that pot noodle and I put it in to the sandwich and fold it over, one slice of bread, fold it over, and then the butter melts. That's a nice sandwich. That's a pot noodle sandwich, right? So I feel that with that extra slice of bread, I feel that the king pot noodle is too much. And quite frankly, after you've had the pot noodle in the bread, just the regular pot noodle doesn't taste as nice. It's true. It's a bit like chili con carne, like that. Once you've had the chili con carne in the sandwich, just the chili con carne with the rice, it ain't quite the same. There we go. Anyway, so we digress at the end. I'm talking about pot noodles. You've probably all gone. I had one person watching this. Now there are none watching. There we go. David Moyes, the greatest manager there has ever been in the history of football.